Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Hunt Club podcast. Today we have a product briefing with Claudia from our product management team. Claudia, want to say hello to the audience?
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here.
Amazing. And then today we are going to be achieving security operational efficiency with Vectra AI. Specifically, we have a new report on the platform that we're going to be talking about. So let's dive right in. Okay, so it's called the operational overview report, and we have a couple screenshots here today. But Claudia, what is this report? What does it do?
This report is a set of visualizations, obviously, that is meant to help our customers understand things like which hosts and accounts are the most frequently prioritized ones, what is the efficiency of the SOC team based on some metrics that we are calculating for them, as well as some breakdowns of detections in based on MITRE and on other factors as well.
So it's a pretty comprehensive report here that gives a lot of information to the SOC team, to SOC managers, but to also, the SOC analysts as well, I'm assuming. So that seems amazing. So I wanted to understand what impact this has for security teams. How are they going to be using this operational overview report, and then how does it benefit them?
Yeah. So, like previously we have worked on a report that it's more at the executive level. This one is meant to be operations.
Yeah.
So this one is meant to talk about, how what the risks are based on which detections we are seeing the deployment based on accounts and hosts that are being prioritized the most often. It's meant to provide visibility into how things are actually working for the SOC team with the Vectra platform. And it also helps to some extent with prioritizing, threat hunting activities, for instance, because it helps them see where most of this, potential attacks are happening.
Mhm. And I think this really speaks, like you mentioned, that visibility. You know, I think it really speaks upon one of our messaging pillars here at Vectra, which is the control pillar. The whole idea is that we want to give the control back to the defenders so that they can take control of the attacks, of the threats that come in. And with this operational overview report, I think that really gives that visibility, really gives that control. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is about having control over what's happening in your deployment in the end. And it starts with having that visibility of what exactly is happening there. The metrics also are important because it helps teams improve their operations.
Mhm.
And of course, the more improved those operations get, the more secure the deployment is. So it is definitely in line with one of our main pillars of Vectra, which is control.
Amazing. Yeah, it's also that cyber resilience too that we want to build with this information. So, what exactly are the components of the report? I know you're going to dive into a demo very soon here, but just an overview of what users will be seeing.
Yeah. So detections and what we call entities, which are hosts and accounts, we want to show those under different lenses. So broken down by detection type and category, as well as MITRE tactics, because a lot of our customers want to see that in the context of the MITRE framework. The frequent offenders list, this is what I was mentioning earlier about those accounts and hosts that are prioritized the most often. Uh, SOC team performance metrics, like the mean time to assign, mean time to resolve, mean time to investigate. We will see those in the demo environment. Historical trends is something that always customers are interested to see, just to find peaks and analyze why those things could be happening. There's also a visualization to understand during a certain period of time which entities, which hosts and accounts have been assigned during that period and which ones have remained unassigned, which means
Mm.
no analyst has, assigned those and investigated those, at least not in the system. It has not been reflected. So it also gives a measure of potentially you want to see most of those being assigned during that period of time. So it tells a story of, how things are working in the SOC as well.
So it really gives like a two pane here. Like it gives an understanding of how the entire system is the entire like security system is working and then how the security team is working too. So it gives sort of like a two pane view there, right? Um
Yes. And
mhm,
sorry, I was going to say, and we are breaking that first section, we're breaking it down in different ways. So some customers want to see this based on entities, so
mhm,
host and accounts,
mhm.
and other customers want to see based on detection. So we are providing those two
Yeah,
views.
absolutely. Okay, let's take a look at the demonstration. So I'm gonna stop my screen, let you take the reins here.
Okay, so so this is one of our demo tenants. So the new operational overview report is located on the reports, operational overview. The first thing that you notice here is that you can select the time frame that you want to report on. Could be custom time or like a quick preset. And then the other thing to notice on top is that it could apply to all the attack surfaces, or you could, select which one is the one that you want to report on. The first widget, so the first section is around prioritized host and accounts, the ones that have been prioritized the most during a certain period of time. You can see on the right, there's the number of times that each of them has been prioritized. There's a group to which that hosted account belongs. Um, the next section is it's about detections though. So here we have a widget with the 20 top detections that have been seen in the deployment. And they are divided based on how they have been closed. So some of them have been closed as remediated, some of them as benign, and all other detections that have not been closed as any of the two remediated or benign will also be shown here. Um, the next breakdown is MITRE. And here you can also see, the tactics are at the bottom, so in the horizontal axis. And then there's the number of prioritized detections. This one is broken down per attack surface. So if you wanted to see only network, you could do
Mm,
that. Only Azure and Office 365, AWS, Azure Control Plane. So quite comprehensive there. Those were the sections that we were talking about that are more about detections and entities. So around, what has been prioritized, while
yeah.
the section at the bottom of the report is more about operations.
Mm,
So the first three times that you can see here are the mean time to assign, mean time to investigate, and mean time to resolve. These are important for SOC teams because it gives them a way of measuring how long the different activities is taking them. And
mhm,
the objective is to lead to like operational efficiency and operational excellence ultimately, right? Where your mean time to resolve gets as low as you define as part of the operations of the SOC team. The the widget that is after that is strength for those three mean times that we have there. So you can see, how long each of those take over. And the last widget is about, it's more generic. It's about during this period of time that I have selected here, which is around a month, how many of those hosts and accounts that have been prioritized by Vectra have been assigned, and how many of those have remained unassigned during that period of time.
mm,
This could lead to decisions around having maybe more SOC analysts,
mhm,
or figuring out why so many of these prioritized entities remain unassigned during a certain period of time. So it's also a way of understanding how things are working, right, in the SOC team.
Mm,
So one of the things that is important to mention about this report is that we've been talking about how those detections are being closed. So they could be closed as remediated, they could be closed as benign. For us to be able to populate this, there is a workflow that needs to be
mm,
enabled on the tenant. And the way to enable it is by going to settings, general. And here, the last item in this section is a new close workflow. And that workflow needs to be enabled. This is what we see here. It's enabled. There's information also about what this workflow does and how to use it, but it's in an article to anybody that wants more details. But it's important to understand that if this new workflow is disabled, then there are certain areas of the operational overview report that will just not have the data, and the report will just not be enabled at all.
mhm,
So I think it's important
mhm.
to mention that as well.
Is it just that one widget that will not have information, or does it impact the entire report?
It actually impacts the entire report. So
Oh,
this
okay.
operational overview report is based on that new workflow. So if the
Mm,
workflow is not enabled, then the report that will still be available is the old generation, which is called operational metrics report.
mm,
Now, the other thing that I would probably mention, since we're looking at this, is where do you see that workflow, the new
mhm,
close workflow? So if we go, for example, to this host that has been, prioritized 3 times, we could see here that it's not prioritized. Um, and here you can see the status. The detections have already been closed as benign. But let me find another one in which we haven't closed the detections. For instance, this one. And as you can see, this host has many active detections
mhm,
still.
mhm,
Um, After investigating, right, and realizing that, okay, well, this is really there's some other activity going, this is expected. So the way in which these detections are closed with a new close workflow is here on the top right, where you actually say, well, you know what, close this as benign. We've looked into this behavior is expected, and they will not impact the urgency score of this particular host anymore. So that way, once the detections have been closed, whether benign or remediated, this is the information that then we're gonna use in the operational overview report.
I see. So it's really important to enable the new close as workflow. And it's also like a simple lift too. It's just what's like mark as benign, mark as remediated, I believe. Like,
Yes,
yeah. Yeah.
yes, and like in a way, for us, not only is it valuable to see what has been closed as remediated, but also if the SOC team has, or somebody in the organization has had to take an action, this is when we say, okay, well, this is close as remediated, right? Like that there's
Mm,
an
mhm,
activity that took place because this detection was flagged. And I think it's important for like SOC managers and CISOs to see that even if that remediated detection may not have been an actual, active attack in their deployment, the tool is helping them find other things that they need to fix in the deployment, and
mhm.
this is when this closest remediated should be used.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that this really just speaks upon giving that visibility on so so we have our coverage story, which gives visibility into how attackers work. And then this here providing us visibility on how our security teams work, how they work, how the system works, so that they can, fine tune it to be the most, operational overview report. So yeah, that's really amazing. Any other thoughts before we pivot back to, or before we close off?
Well, it was great to get feedback. So for anybody that is using it, that they start playing with it, please, yeah, send us the feedback, send us suggestions for improvements. We're always happy to discuss what else we could be building next.
Absolutely. For the audience here, let us know what you think about our operational overview report. Do you think this will be really beneficial for your, security operations, that visibility? Is there any other parts of the report that you would like to add to? Would you like more visibility on other things? Please leave your comments down below. And we'll also link the article for the close as workflow enablement down below in the description as well. So it helps you out. But yeah, Claudia, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you for walking us through, and yeah, hope to
Thanks
see
a
you
lot,
soon.
Zoe.
All
Thank
right,
you.
goodbye.
Have a nice day. Bye.